Welcome everyone to this brand new edition of 5 Round MMA. My name is Alex Ramirez. Alongside me is my co-host Albert Cita. Thank you all for tuning in this week, whether it be on audio formats, wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podomatic, Amazon Podcasts, or Amazon Music. They have a podcast streaming platform as well, too. Thank you all for tuning in. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, a big thank you so much for that. Albert, how's it going, man?
It's going really good. I don't really have nothing much to report.
No updates?
Other than I'm getting stuff ready for my little kid's birthday party. He got like a Power Wheel, like Jurassic Park edition.
Yeah.
Bro, I am so jealous. Like, as I'm making it, I'm like kind of mad. Because I'm like, bro, I want that.
They want these high-tech toys when you were a kid?
Well, they had the Power Wheels. It's just that, you know, my family was broke as dirt, so I never got.
What's the theme
it.
for your kid's birthday party?
It's dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
But because, you know, everybody knows it's not just for the kids, but it's also for the adults.
Uh-huh.
So it's dinosaur, but I'm throwing my own Jurassic Park flair in it. Okay. Just because I'm a big Jurassic Park fan, so it has to be about me too.
So little Steven Spielberg Easter eggs there.
So I'm throwing some Jurassic Park stuff in there.
Well, this week's show, we got a lot to talk about. I mean, a myriad of releases in the WWE. The whole world's falling apart, and it depends what type of mark you are. If you're a hardcore mark, the WWE's stupid.
You're crying.
You're crying for some reason because Buddy Murphy was the next Hulk Hogan, apparently. We also got to talk about rumors of WWE selling as a repercussion of them releasing. We also going to talk about Paulo Costa demanding more money, I think, YouTubers' money, I think he said.
Yeah.
We're also going to recap Tough, the return of Tough, and we're going to preview UFC 263, a big-time UFC pay-per-view coming up this weekend. But before we do that, I want to give a huge thank you to our sponsors, Foxhound Fuel. Train hard, stay sharp with their 3 formulas for workout: a pre-workout, a during workout, and a post-workout powder. No artificial sweeteners, all natural ingredients. Won't leave you no jittery feelings after like that as well. So use Foxhound. Go to foxhoundfuel.com. Use promo code 5MMA for 15% off your order. That lets them know that 5 Round MMA sent you over there. And then, Foxhound Fuel.
Real quick, this is not speaking on behalf of Foxhound. This is my personal experience. If you like to drink like I do, but you want to it's still
recover the next be functional the next day.
Yeah, functional. The hydration one is gold, bro. Like I took this week off just because I went a little bit too hard.
Yeah.
And so next week I'm hoping I'm pick up the hydration again, because I'm telling you it works, bro.
Back to your training regimen. Yeah. You know what's funny? They should do that, because on Foxhound Fuel's website they've got prime athletes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you want to keep your workout, or the other half of the population, if you just want to recover from being hungover, that's kind of the both. I'm not sure it's what they're thinking about, but I like how it serves that purpose. And also a big thank you to Wildbar. Eat instinctively, non-GMO, all natural ingredients, nutrient dense, not protein bars, but it's nutrition dense bars. It's food for your energy, for your body, for just to eat healthy. It's all natural, paleo, vegan friendly. They got 3 great flavors. Go to wildbar.co and use promo code 5RoundMMA15. That's FIVE Round MMA 15 for 15% off your order. A big thank you to both. We'll give you more details on those products as we enter the championship rounds. But Albert Cita, let's go ahead and get started with round number 1. So this past week, the WWE randomly released 6 superstars.
Was it random?
I mean, came out of nowhere. The biggest one being Braun Strowman, Aleister Black, Ruby Riott, Buddy Murphy. I could be. Who else am I missing? Let me check.
You got Buddy Murphy. You got Aleister Black, which was the other big one.
Is that it?
Braun Strowman.
Lana,
the girl, Lana, and
Santana Garrett.
Those
are the ones.
6. Believe it or not, the only ones that I'm interested in going on to AEW, I'm just talking about AEW for now, and then I can talk about the rest, is Lana and Santana. That's it. I think the women's division now that Britt Baker is the face of it. I do think they need fresh faces in there, and I feel Santana is perfect for AEW. The girl has a great look, can wrestle. Lana, on the other hand, I feel can just add more stock to Miro's rise right now since he's the TNT champion. His promos are good, but they're not great.
Yeah.
With Lana, I think they'll be great. And even though she'll probably put herself into the women's division too, I think I see her more strengths pushing Rusev all the way to the main event roster. And they need a lot of girls to keep the steam moving, and I think Santana fits perfectly. As far as the guys, I think AEW is fine in the mid-card level because that's all I see this guy. Buddy Murphy is a cheap Pac. And I'm giving him
a cheap
props.
A cheap version
of Pac.
A Pac?
Yeah, and I'm giving him a prop there. I'm not burying him. I'm actually giving him some compliments there. Braun Strowman, he will do perfect in Impact. Impact is perfect. If he wants to make money, he's gonna have to wait until the pandemic's over, because in New Japan, this guy's gonna get big contracts in Japan. So if he wants to make money, he waits for Japan. But if he wants to continue wrestling, I think Impact's the perfect spot. I don't see him fitting in AEW right now. They don't need another big monster that can't wrestle. And then who else? Aleister Black. He was tailor made for NWA, bro. All right.
What about Ruby Riott?
Ruby Riott. See, I'm on the fence with her.
She has a very good reputation on the indie scene.
Yeah. I want to like her more, but I don't know what it is that I can't get behind her.
Yeah.
I don't know if her gimmick isn't strong enough for me. Her wrestling style is not as dominant for me. I don't know. But wherever she lands, I think she'll do good.
Okay, let me give you my hot takes on all of them. When I first heard the group of batches, the wrestlers or superstars that got released, out of the biggest one, the biggest shock to me was Lana. Yeah, because she makes a lot of money just being her.
Hey, real quick, she's calling Bang up.
Yeah,
real
she
quick. She makes
a lot of money just being her. Yeah. And I think she was one of the ones where she was making too much money being her, that the WWE did this whole, hey, any outside money we need to see a taste of, because you're making too much money on yourself. So hence the Twitch and all the promotions and the outside sponsorships. Real quick,
this is the part that frustrates me in WWE, right? Macho Man gets Slim Jims, freaking beautiful. It was almost a partnership made in heaven. That partnership, Lana and Bang made perfect sense to me. WWE dropped the ball there. Instead of they should have figured out a way they can talk to Bang and get Lana and do a whole Bang collaboration, because I think she was a perfect brand name for that brand.
Yeah, and I don't know, just her evolution as a character. I don't know why they forced her to go into the ring. You don't need that. I mean, they have a lot of wrestlers. They don't have enough manager personalities like that. That's what they need. And then her going into the ring was the biggest mistake ever. And I think maybe because after Rusev left, she had nothing else to do, unless maybe giving her just a manager role for other wrestlers. But I don't think she needs to even step foot in a ring ever again. She could just be a manager, a spokesperson. She doesn't have to. She doesn't even have to go to wrestling again, actually, because she's such an influencer. She could just do whatever she wants in social media and still make money, whatever that is. If it's making an impact, I don't know what. But for her, that was the biggest shock to me, because she was a legit moneymaker outside of the ring.
Yeah.
For this dude right here, Braun Strowman, we're gonna go super long on this one because it's a lot to talk about. So I'm just gonna stop the timer right
now. Okay.
We all in the history of professional wrestling, there's always kind of two types of wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
Maybe three. There's three. There's the wrestlers who were born into it and their families did it and they kind of get into it. The Randy Ortons, the Bret Harts, the Cody Rhodes, right? And then there's guys or performers who watch it since they're a kid and they love it and they've known since day one they want to be professional wrestler, right?
Daniel Bryan,
Seth Rollins, Sasha Banks. That's all they ever known. Bailey. Shawn Michaels, Triple H. They loved it. That's what they want to do. They've known since day one, right? And then you got dudes who sort of fall into it. Goldberg, Sting, Ultimate Warrior, the guy I'm pointing to, Braun Strowman, who are you're so huge. You have to be in wrestling Because what was he doing? Powerlifting before that?
Yeah, he was doing powerlifting. He wasn't even in Mark Henry's level, bro.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, does he have a real love for professional wrestling where he's going to go and travel around the world, or is he going to find somewhere else, right? And I don't know wherever he goes, he's not going to be a top star. So the internet wrestling community was freaking out, like, how do you release Braun Strowman? How do you release Braun? Like, oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't aware this guy's going to be the next Hulk Hogan. Like, I'm sorry, like, he was a former champion, blah 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 blah. In the middle, like. I look at this dude, I don't see a star. He can go to Impact, he can go to AEW, and he's not going to move a needle. He's not going to put more butts in. He's not going to do any of that stuff because he's just a big guy with subpar work and whatever promos. I think that when the WWE looks at him like, okay, this dude's making $1 million a year. I don't know why. Is he doing $1 million a year work?
Nope.
No, right? Is he going to go somewhere else and like, oh man, we should have never let him go?
Nope.
It's not like he's going to go and he's the stunning Steve Austin and a couple years later he's going to be the biggest thing ever, right? So I didn't see anything wrong with that. Aleister Black, people are saying, how could he's so good? He's like, he was good at wrestle Big E and he's being like super professional, not even like on his Twitch channel. He's saying, don't blame creative, don't blame Vince, don't blame anybody, but for some reason.
So we should just blame him.
He said for some reason,
so just blame Black.
Nothing connected, right? And whose fault's that, really?
That's Aleister Black's fault then.
I think the internet wrestling community forgets that there's a whole other population. More than half are just watching it because it's entertainment, and they don't know a person's background, where they came from, or whatever. Or there's a lot of people who watch WWE who probably don't even know Aleister Black has a Twitch channel.
Yeah.
So, and I think too, like,
and I would say this to Aleister Black's character again. I am trying to be as honest as possible. All right. We are in a new era, right? We see combat sports on the daily now. Mm-hmm. When I log on and watch UFC, Bellator, and I see these MMA fighters, they are built like, they're shredded.
Yeah.
Shredded. And then you're going to try to sell me Aleister Black as maybe he is a good martial artist or whatever. But you're going to sell it to me the way he looks? You get me?
Yeah.
The dude has to be shredded. And the other part that kind of got to me was he took a long break and supposedly was hitting the gym, whatever. He makes his debut and I was like, oh, that's it? Bro, I feel like if you give me 4 weeks of all I have to do is training, I'll look better than Aleister Black.
Yeah.
And that's real. I'm not keeping 100.
Yeah.
When I see Kurt Angle, the guy shredded from head to toe. Of course, I'm going to believe he's an Olympian. I'm also going to believe that he was the baddest wrestler. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A perception means a lot. And I feel like that never helped Aleister Black.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like his charisma doesn't come across the screen to me.
Yeah.
Whenever I saw his promos and his entrance, and though he has cool the black
that part was
yeah, but it never looked like. It looked like he was trying really hard. It didn't look natural to him. And I don't know if it's because he was getting so much direction from WWE, but even his promos didn't seem natural enough. It seemed like he was putting on a performance rather than kind of being himself. Mm-hmm. And maybe he kept saying, "Oh, we tried this, we tried that." Maybe there's just too much thinking involved.
Yeah.
Maybe you should just been yourself, dude. Like, and that would have been cool enough.
Nothing ever clicked when it came to Aleister Black. Yeah. That. Nothing ever clicked.
And that's everybody, I guess. I don't know.
He had cool moments. He had cool spots, but nothing ever. And the package was never there. Never there.
Yeah, and the Buddy Murphy, I legit thought he was already in TNA, but that's Brian Myers or Brandon Myers. That goes.
The kid can work.
Yeah,
he has that vanilla factor.
Yeah.
That like, and it's funny because Brian Myers I think has the same problem. Like, they're very forgettable guys. Yeah. But they're good workers.
I say you put Brandon Myers, Heath Slater, and Buddy Murphy in a group and call them the Ginger Attack and have them go wild everywhere. For Santana Garrett, dude, she's been around forever. Especially in the local SoCal scene. She's been around forever. I think she's probably better off not working in WWE because she can go whenever she wants. Is she going to be the face of a women's division in any organization?
She can be.
I don't think she can. I think that time has come already. She's already a worker.
I can see that.
She's a worker. She's not going to give you a bad match ever. I've never seen her in a bad match because she's a professional.
And this is why I'm saying why she fits perfect for AEW. Yeah. After they had the Rose and Britt Baker match, they need more. And I don't think I think half of that women's rosters can't go yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
There's some that you can see there's potential coming, but you need now. You need girls to go now.
Yeah.
And she's perfect. She fits the mold perfectly for AEW.
Yeah, but she's been around forever. I think if it was going to happen to her, it would happen already. But she's a worker. She can go wherever she wants. She can go everywhere she wants. She'll be fine. And then Ruby Riott, I think the issue with her was, one, she was part of a group that they never really believed in. The
never
Riot
really
Squad.
got
And they used more to put over people.
Uh-huh.
And the second thing is, the WWE already has a short-haired punk rocker looking girl who's at top already, and Rhea Ripley.
Yeah,
who's taller than her, stronger than her.
That could have hurt her. That they had similar styles,
similar looks. If I am just a generic fan who just watches WWE, doesn't follow the indie scene, again, there's a lot of fans out there. You marks may not believe it, but people just watch WWE. I see one girl with short hair and piercings, and another girl with short hair and piercings. Just as a casual viewer, I'm confused. Wait, I thought that they're too much the same. And again, you internet wrestling fans, you got to remember it. This isn't about you. This is about everybody. Even as a kid, like, wait, they look the same. How come they don't team up or whatever, right? So I think that was like her downfall as well. Like, where do we have somebody who looks like you, and she's already
believe it or not, I used to get Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels confused all the time until Shawn made his singles run. But as a kid, I legit sometimes didn't know which one was which.
Yeah, and you got to set yourself apart. And again, when you have, she has green hair and Ruby Riott's different and different. Like, no, to the casual fan, short hair, piercings, tattoos, you look the same to me. Again, people are saying that the W is going to sell. That's why they made it. But in the long run, we'll get into why they maybe did, but they're not going to lose anything by dropping who they dropped to 6.
Yeah.
Braun Strowman's not going to go anywhere and then bring down WWE.
The reaction I got online was if Seth Rollins got released.
No,
that's how it sounded. I mean, like that's how the Rumble sounded to me. Like, like someone like Seth Rollins got released. Like, bro, no one says if Cesaro got released. That to me would have been the reaction that people should have got.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So we know we went super long on this one, but we're going to talk about the motivations as to why they released these superstars, the rumors and speculation going around next. So don't go anywhere.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for round number 2. So we're going to continue our conversation on the recent releases of WWE superstars and what that tied into. I don't know who started the rumor, but you know how the dirt sheets go. One speculation goes, and all of a sudden it runs wild. So they released 6 superstars. Braun Strowman had $1 million a year or close to that deal. They're saying, look at the WWE is trying to make themselves more profitable because they're going to sell to NBC Universal. Vince McMahon's going to be 80 years old in a couple years. He wants to get the most bang for his buck. Look at it's happening, guys. They sold the WWE network to Peacock for X billion dollars. Look at it's going to happen. It's going to happen, guys. This is what it is. Apparently, the dirt sheets are now like, look at Nick Khan. It's like Nick Khan everywhere. Nick Khan this. Nick Khan that. Nick Khan. What do you think? Is Vince McMahon gonna sell anytime soon?
This is what I'm gonna say.
And then even if he does sell. What's to make you think he's not going to be in charge until the day he dies anyways?
So I have a little bit of like speculations, I guess.
Yeah.
Just to give it some grain of salt to this rumor, right? Before I get to where I think it might happen or whatever, I just want to put out there first. Vince purchased the WWE. He purchased it. It was his dad's company, but he bought it off his dad. With that said, I think Vince still sticks to that. There's some meat and potatoes to that he purchased it from his dad. He wasn't giving it to him. So I think in a way it makes sense to me if he's finding it hard in his head to just give over his company to Stephanie or whoever, to just give over. It's almost like I bought it. You guys
gotta buy it from me.
Yeah, you gotta buy it from me.
Yeah.
And I can see him having that mentality. With that said, though, if he decides, look, you gotta buy it off me to take it, I'm just not gonna hand it over to. Look at the UFC. It was Dana White's baby, and the Fertitta brothers. But at the end of the day, money won. But Dana was just so close to the product, was the face of the product, that it made no sense to just have Dana walk off with his money and not be part of UFC.
And he has a deal where his salary is based on how well it performs, right?
Exactly, which of course he's going
to motivate you to do more.
Yeah, and so with that said, I can't. There has to be a similar deal there on the table, if there is one, with Vince McMahon. At the end of the day, Vince McMahon is the most known person when you say WWE, and then maybe Hogan. Mm-hmm. I think whoever buys it will benefit him, and I think it'll be more likely that Vince sells, where they say, look, we own it, you're the president still, and just like Dana White, as good as it does,
you make all the decisions.
That's your paycheck, whatever.
Yeah.
I will say another rumor that I heard, because all I hear is NBC, is Disney might be into play here for a couple reasons. Not because of Disney Plus, but you forget ESPN Plus, it's becoming a very sought after subscription, I think. Mm-hmm. You got The Ultimate Fighter, the new season on there, which we'll talk about later. You got tons of old content from different promotions in ESPN. And I think they're just trying to grow that ESPN subscription brand. And WWE fits actually pretty good in there if you think about it. Having SmackDown and Raw no longer broadcasting, but instead an ESPN Plus exclusive makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. Even though Peacock owns the library, I think there's a way you can. That in my head, it makes tons of sense.
Yeah.
But with all that said, I do find it difficult to see someone buying WWE. It could just be one of those things where it's just a number thing where we're just literally trying to balance out the money. Once the pandemic ends and we start touring, we want to set our company up to the best. We don't want to set up our company up to fail, but yet the best case scenario. And the best case scenario is when fans starts coming in, revenue starts building back up, then we'll start getting our teams back together, getting more superstars into the business.
Yeah, and I think too, when AEW first started, they got this huge, almost like panic mode where they overbought, right? Overbought and locked up a lot of talent. I think Dave Meltzer said that they're realizing now that either one, AEW is not going to beat them. Mm-hmm. Two, that you know what, we made a mistake, and these who we're releasing, they're not going to go anywhere and then turn us up on our upside down. Uh-huh. Again, Braun Strowman and Aleister Black, they're not going to go to
not AEW. Needle movers, no way.
They're not going to go and
Andrade, on the other hand, though, that guy's a needle mover, bro.
Needle mover. Sorry, I think if they do sell, okay. But what's to make you think that Vince McMahon's not going to be in charge still, right? Or it's going to change? If anything, just less responsibility. I'm like, well, they sold the network to Peacock and NBC. Well, if you heard out why, because it took more money to keep it up to date, that streaming platform, than it was to NBC. You hand it over, you do the updates, you do the tech stuff, because they would have to hire another company just to do that 24/7, because streaming, it never stops. So it has to be up to date in technology and all the widgets and the fixes and stuff like that and the bugs. That's probably staff that either one, the WWE doesn't want to hire or contract out because it's more money. Give us $1 billion, you guys take care of it, right? It's just business moves.
It's a smart business
and it doesn't mean they're going to sell. If they do, I mean, if they sell, it doesn't mean Vince McMahon's going anywhere. So I don't know what people want or speculate what this does to anything other than just the news for the week.
Two things before we get off the topic. I know we're way past over again.
Yeah, that's because it's wrestling.
If you look at Peacock, their main thing was The Office, and they didn't really have anything else as far as original programming. So it just made, to me, that WWE deal made perfect sense too.
Yeah, for them.
It's a big company that needs content to keep their service alive.
Yeah.
And to me, that makes sense. The same thing, if we can play fantasy booking just for 1 minute, fantasy booking.
Yeah.
If Tony Khan can convince his dad to put his hand in the table and buy WWE, do you think that's a positive or a negative thing?
I think it's
if they were, again, fantasy, Tony Khan purchases WWE.
Negative, because then people need to say the exact same thing they said about Vince, monopolizing, kill the business. Because you need diversity. As of right now, this is the best time I can remember watching wrestling since the Monday Night Wars. You got WWE. You got three versions. You can watch Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. All three are kind of different.
Yeah.
You have Impact, which is pretty good. You have AEW, which is pretty good. And then if you want to go deeper than that, you have MLW, which is trying really hard to get on good shows. You have NWA doing their thing, which is, unique and different, kind of old school kind of vibe. You also have New Japan, which is emerging as one of the top promotions in the world. So as of right now, look at all this diversity we have. I want to keep it that way. I don't know. I understand why. Like, we can have Burger King, McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Wendy's all could coexist in the world, and we're all fine with it. Why do we have to have one big giant wrestling company? Why can't we have all of these companies, and why can't they all coexist? And why can't we all have something to choose from and talk about it? I don't understand that. We have Disney, Universal. When it comes to entertainment, it's like, we want one conglomerate. We want Disney and Marvel to take care to buy everything. Don't you want diversity? Like, you want 50 different ways to get your cheeseburger.
Yeah.
But yet you only want one way to get your wrestling.
Yeah.
Or you only want one way to get your comic book movies. I don't understand that.
My only counter to that is the UFC. Thanks to the UFC, we get these big matches and they get it done.
Yeah.
Even though we miss out on Jones versus the heavyweight champion
Stipe?
No,
Francis.
Francis. Even though we miss out on like those dream matches, we still get, the Style Bender versus Whitaker, and it's easier to make because it's one big company.
Yeah.
And if the best want to, show off, they gotta go to UFC. I guess that's the only thing.
Sports is different though.
Yeah, but see, if AEW was the brand, I don't see them not making the matchups that everyone wants to see. Like, Finn Balor's there, AJ's there. Why are we not seeing a bunch of feuds with AJ and Finn?
Yeah.
Why don't we see Finn versus Cesaro? Why don't we see Daniel Bryan versus Finn Balor? Why haven't we seen Seth Rollins in a 3-way with Finn Balor and AJ? Or I'm saying there's so much actual matches that they can do and they avoid, and maybe just having one guy like UFC gets it all done.
But then, like, are you talking about? So, do you just want to show? What do you want? Do you want?
I want matchups, bro.
Okay, so
that's what I'm trying to get at. I want matchups.
You want a weekly wrestling show where it's just 3 hours of matches.
Yes.
No promos. No storylines.
I want storylines too.
See, but that's.
But I want match. I want to see. I want to see these matches.
Okay, but then that's the word.
And the frustrating part is, in wrestling, you can get those matches made.
Yeah.
In UFC, I understand. There's a lot on the line. There's your health on the line.
Yeah.
In wrestling, you can get these matches. Why haven't I seen AJ versus Finn Balor?
But dude, like,
why? Explain to me.
But again, we were big marks for PWG, still are, right?
Yeah.
We go and because we went because look at the card. It's going to be Roderick Strong versus all these guys where there was no storyline involved unless sometimes they did these kind of cool YouTube videos. Yeah. But we just went for the matchups, right?
But man,
no promo.
What were they matchups?
There were matchups, but there's no storyline because we didn't worry about it because we didn't come back till a month later, right? For WWE, their philosophy is we need storylines. We need a reason why these guys are fighting. We need you to care why Finn Balor and AJ are going to wrestle, and we need you to care who's going to win.
I care right now.
But that's the thing, though. Like, do you want just matchups or do you want a storyline to go with the matches? And I think the WWE, they don't even know what they want because they haven't even come up they haven't even come up with a reason. Like, why do we? Either they just going through the recycling of the same storylines that seem to work forever and ever, or they just like, what's the motivation for anybody to
give me
to
Matt Riddle versus RVD, please? That's what I'm saying. We get in the round with that.
That's it for round number 2. We probably spent like more than half the show talking about wrestling. Sorry about that, but we're gonna switch gears to mixed martial arts and talk about the demands now of a certain UFC middleweight coming up next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for round number 3, just barely number 3. We're going deep here in the wrestling
real
talks.
Long on this one.
Switching gears to MMA, more specifically the UFC. It was announced this week that Paulo Costa versus Jared Cannonier has been off the cards. Paulo Costa was removed from that fight.
Which I was hyped about, too.
Yeah,
man.
and then now Kevin Gastelum's going to fight Jared Cannonier on short notice, kind of about 2 months. The bout was supposed to take place towards the middle of or end of August. With no real reason. Just Paulo Costa is off the card now, and then Kevin Gastelum, like a G, is stepping in like he always does, but that's a different conversation for a different day. Mm-hmm. Then it kind of came out that Paulo Costa's the reason why he is pulled out because he said he never signed a contract, and 2, he wants more money. And he came out to Twitter and said, hey, Tweet by Paulo Costa. UFC needs to pay me as main fighter to have fighting in main events. YouTubers are showing all disgrace on this business. Just to be clear, this is a separate tweet. Just to be clear, I never signed or locked up that contract. Why UFC announced his fight if I didn't sign? My question too.
Now, first of all, I think Paulo's onto something. Don't get a manager, bro. I like your tweets.
Yeah, exactly. One, I'm thinking, I agree with the YouTubers thing because we're Jake Paul and the Paul brothers are making millions of dollars, but again, it's in boxing, not in MMA.
Yeah.
Two, bro, Paula, your stock is way down right now. Like your stock, do not invest in Paulo Costa stock right now because, bro, you coming off an embarrassing loss to Izzy and your excuses of you're hungover and Izzy rode you at the end, and you did not look good after that. Now you're going to say, oh, I never agreed to this. I'm a main event fighter. You got to pay me like a main event fighter, but you're coming off a big-time loss. Bro, saddle up and fight, man. Mm-hmm. Get back in there. And then, it's again, the UFC is what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
This guy hasn't done much for you lately. So your thoughts on this and his tweet and him saying, hey, I never signed anything.
Real quick. I think it's universally accepted now that these MMA fighters need to get paid. You know, I
agree. I
don't think no one's making the argument that these guys don't deserve to get paid. I think they should get paid just as much, if not around the same as some of these boxers. I really do think the UFC can bump up the pays. Who knows how big, but they can bump them up. I know for sure.
Yeah.
But anyways, with that said, though, two things. One, it doesn't look good if the guy that's coming off a championship loss, like you said, is the one crying about pay and that they gotta pay me. It just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
If it was like Izzy saying it off a championship win, it doesn't look as bad. The second thing is it's coming from the wrong guy when you're talking about pay. You need. It's sad to say, but this is champ talk. You get me?
Yeah.
When you're when you got all the UFC champions saying, you got Usman saying, bro, we need to get paid more. You got who's the light heavyweight? Oliveira.
Yeah.
We need to get paid more. Izzy, we gotta get paid more. Uganu, we need to get paid more. If you got the champions saying that, it has more value, more stock.
Uh-huh.
And I think that people forget. Again, I hate to bring it up because everyone always tells me like Conor, but it's the truth, bro. Conor talks, but he delivered. All right, say what you want. He went on that vicious win streak leading up to Jose Aldo and asked for the big bucks on his way as he's winning.
And he goes and takes it out. Yeah.
And
he'll go and he'll take an L.
Exactly. But he says it, signs on the paper, and then gets paid. He has complained about money in the past too, but yet he's continuously fighting the UFC because you continue to sign that contract and get paid. That's my only thing. So it just looks salty coming from Paulo because he's coming off a loss against the champion, and at the same time, I think it's the wrong guy saying it. Even though I think it's like I said in the beginning of the whole round, it's universally known that these MMA fighters should get paid a lot more.
Yeah, and then Derek Cannonier is coming off a loss to Robert Whittaker, so they're both coming off losses.
Yeah.
But they're both top middleweights.
Yeah, and Kevin Gastelum just put himself in a perfect position.
Yeah, I think
if he could get a good finish here, I think he cuts in line again. Because keep in mind, what's the one thing you see when it comes to easy memes is the one where it shows him how he looks after a fight, except for against Kevin Gastelum. He looked tore. He looked tore up, right? So if he gets a good finish here, Izzy wins his fight, Kevin Gastelum can cut the line. Yeah. And Paulo didn't see that.
Also, too, I think UFC loves guys who step in like this.
Oh, yeah.
And I think for as much...
Why do you think Don Cerrone still got the job?
For as much crap as Dana White gives Kevin Gastelum, like, dude, just lose weight, man. Even we could just lay off. You are at least
I legit think
a 155er, bro.
My boy,
how tall you are.
I think my boy can fight in lightweight. I legit think that.
You can do it, bro. But, I mean, it does him favor. Does not do Paulo Costa any favors at all. I think there's a way to bring up this argument. Our fighters getting paid more. And I agree with you. They should get paid a lot more. But then that goes the problem of the UFC being the only fish in town. Go to Bellator then, bro. Go to PFL. But there's more options, but still. And it's a shame that YouTubers are getting paid more, but they're in boxing.
But I also want to point out how many YouTubers are getting paid this money.
It's like 2.
Yeah. So stop. Like I remember when they used to make the argument, like, did you see how much Canelo Mayweather made? Did you see how much Pacquiao made?
Yeah.
Bro, yeah. How many fighters
Go
is
ask
that?
the boxers who are fighting on a Saturday night.
If they making the same money as them, then we have an argument.
Yeah.
Don't be crying about YouTubers when it's just 2 guys. I mean, give me a handful of YouTubers making that money, and then
actually, yeah. I go. Paulo Costa has I think 20 professional fights. He's 16-0 maybe. Mm-hmm. I think that, or 16-1. Find the equivalent to that in boxing.
Yeah.
And how much the 16-1 fighter is making right now? Like, it's not the same. He's probably making a lot more than a 16-1 boxer, right? Yeah. So it's not until you get to that 45 fights is when you start making the big money in boxing, right? So again, I think, and the dude, I think he didn't do himself any favors too with the whole excuses for Izzy being hungover, drinking too much wine the night before. So again, not the right dude to make this argument. You lost, dude. Fight, then start asking for more money. But
good for Kevin Gastelum, bro.
Exactly. Again, we'll always go back to Kevin Gastelum. That's it for round number 3. We're going to take a small break and come back and enter the championship rounds. Don't go anywhere. Those coming up next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for the championship rounds. These championship rounds are brought to you by Foxhound Fuel. Train hard, stay sharp with their line of pre-workout powders, during workout powders, and post-workout formulas to get you ready, keep you hydrated, and help you recover from your workouts and get you the best, feeling the best and great. There's a free sample pack you can get there to try each one. Or
that's what I've been trying to tell everybody. Like, okay, fine, you don't want to commit. You think there's so much other products out there similar to it. Okay, all fine and dandy, but you get a free pack here. Like, It doesn't hurt to just get a free pack and try.
That's how confident they are in their product. They're going to give it away for free. Because they're so confident you're going to love it, you're going to buy some more.
Yeah.
And when you do buy some more, use promo code 5MMA for 50%
and the shipping's free, so it's 100% free.
Foxhound.
Why aren't you trying it?
Foxhoundfuel.com. Again, get the free sample pack. And when you love it, we know you'll love it. Use promo code.
2 of each, by the way.
Use promo code 5MMA for 15% off your order. And also, these championship rounds are also brought to you by Wildbar. Natural, paleo, vegan, friendly, nutrient-dense bars.
Can I just give you a shout out to the flavor? Just to tell people
the flavors.
They got cherry, blueberry, and pineapple, bro. Come on.
All natural ingredients that you could pronounce to make you feel full, to not sluggish. Get the best out of your workouts. That's wildbar.co. Eat instinctively. Use promo code 5roundMMA15. That's FIVE round MMA, the number 15 for 15% off your order. A big thank you to both of them for believing in this show and sponsoring us. They also have a sample. You can buy a pack, get one of each flavor on Wildbar for like $9. And then once you're there, you can buy the boxes of which you'll know you like them as well. So it's pineapple, cherry, and wildberry. Wildbar.co. All right, Albert, let's get started with this 4th round here. The return of the Ultimate Fighter, Volkanovski, Team Volkanovski versus Team Ortega. It's been about 3 years, I think, since the last one.
Like 2 solid years.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the season and the coaches, I would watch the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, it's funny how it really does depend on like who the coaches are for me to really want to watch it.
So this year, again, it's a Volkanovski versus Ortega as a coaches, Team Volkanovski, Team Ortega. I think Dana White said that he was never going to let the Ultimate Fighter die. He just needed like a different platform. They built the Apex Center specifically for this. Obviously, with streaming, I think this show is perfect for that. Is it a show that's going to be on cable every night? No, but is it a show that's going to be on a streaming platform like ESPN Plus? I think is where it's at. Episode 1 of the books. What do you think of it?
I like it. Again, it just makes too much sense that they have this Apex Center and not have the show revolve around that.
It probably cost them nothing to film, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's one of those things where you made the big investment, but it's going to pay off in the long run.
Yeah.
And not just that, dude, it looks like, I mean, obviously we don't know anything about training and combat, but it looks like Disneyland to these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff they got in the Apex Center is just mind-boggling. Like, we've been to plenty of other gyms, and Some of them have cool stuff, nice setups, but not like this, bro. Like, dude, I don't know how anyone can complain with the training center. Like, I was just mind blown all the stuff they got for these guys. And it's funny because leading up to this, I was watching the old Ultimate Fighters. Man, I bet those guys are like, bro. You know what? We had a punching bag and like we had to share the weights and a treadmill. And it's just funny how they really has grown to like such a wonderful facility. And you literally have. It's funny too. Like you go all the way back to season 1, and like you got a guy that was really good at wrestling. And he's probably going to win the whole thing. Yeah. You have one guy that was like
the first few seasons is like that.
Yeah. That they're good at one thing. Oh, they're probably going to win the whole thing. And then now it's crazy to see a bunch of them. Like they got the whole package is there in a lot of the fighters. And then the other thing I was going to say before we get a little bit more further. Again, I'm just talking about visually. I'm not going to get into thing. I hate the jerseys, bro.
You know what? I was gonna add.
The jerseys always miss it, like a hit or miss.
I was gonna talk about that too, especially the color schemes. I'm always excited to see what colors they pick, and what Volkanovski is like a weird bluish green and like yellow or orange, and then Ortega is like a black and teal, I guess. Yeah, so I don't understand why they picked the colors like that.
I was hoping with this new Venom sponsorship, we would have saw a little bit more cooler, tough enough jerseys. I don't know if this came prior to it or what.
Probably some in the back.
Yeah, but I feel like they failed in the jersey column.
Yeah, I think so too. It's kind of weird. Even too now, I think now it's going to be more exciting. I think if they're going to keep doing the Ultimate Fighter, they should probably do away with the Contender series, but it's almost the same thing. Like, you're fighting to get.
I almost felt like the Contender series was just something to keep the Ultimate Fighter at. Like while we're waiting for the Ultimate Fighter, Contender is there for that type of fan. You know?
Like if they're there, just book them on a card, undercard. What's the big deal? Like if they're good enough, if they're good to be fighting for a contract, why just give them a 1-2 fight deal? So I've never been a fan of that. I like this better. It's more,
Ultimate Fighter just a lot better.
You get more invested in the fighters, and you know a lot of people they build their fan base from here.
Yeah, even though Sean O'Malley made the most out of the Contender series and made himself a star.
But do you imagine like 10 weeks of Sean O'Malley? Bro, come on now.
I would have ate that up, dude. The ratings would be off the roof if Sean O'Malley was an Ultimate Fighter.
Interesting tech too. A lot of these guys have a lot more experience now because since the first Ultimate Fighter to now, there's a lot more regional promotions out there. There's LFA.
Yeah.
There's a ton of where these guys can get experience, then enter the Ultimate Fighter. So that where your point to where if one guy's just good at wrestling, he's gonna win the whole thing. No, these dudes are well rounded and probably the best, most experienced cast of Ultimate Fighter we've seen in a long, long time. The selection of it was different too. Remember, it was everybody would fight each other to get in the house. For a couple
seasons, they had a fight to get in.
You pick it. Now this was like they worked out and they just walked around and interviewed them and picked them on the spot, which I thought was kind of funny. And I think it was Brian Ortega straight up asked you, like, we want to ask you.
Yeah, you want to be on my team or not?
And like, it's kind of funny. You kind of see Brian Ortega's like East LA, kind of come out. Hey, I said, you want to be on my team or what? You want my team, dog, or what?
You want to wear the colors or what?
Basically what it was. So it's going to be cool, I think.
I will say this. Brian Ortega shined a lot more than Volkanovski. And it's funny because it always feels like that way when the coaches. One coach kind of always like has a more star potential than the other. I could go back to when Matt Hughes and Rich Franklin, I think, were the most boring coaches ever, bro.
Yeah.
Like BJ Penn, dude, that guy stole the show he was talking smack on his own team. Like, the Michael Bisping, Dan Harrison, that one was freaking funny.
Yeah. Or even like, do you remember when randomly they got Jason Mayhem Miller and Michael Bisping to coach against each other?
Oh yeah.
That was like Miller. Like Miller's crazy now. We've seen that, but he was pretty funny on the show as well. He got demolished by Bisping, but
awesome that it's back up. I like the first episode. I'm gonna watch the whole season.
Yeah, I also like the fact it's on demand, so I can if I miss it later, I can just watch it later on. So again, that's the era we live in now, on demand television, which is spoiled, bro. All you marks out there and dirt sheets who report on the Raw ratings being low. It's on demand, bro. I can go watch it later on. I don't have to watch it on Monday.
Which I do. That's what I do. I have never watched the Monday Night Raw live on Monday night. 98, bro.
Yeah,
since 98.
That's it for round number 4. We got one more round coming up, and it's a big one. We're gonna preview UFC 263. After a little bump in the road pay-per-views, we got a big one coming up next now. So don't go anywhere. We're gonna preview that next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Fifth and final round. UFC 263 takes place this Saturday, January 12th, live from the Gila River Arena in Glendale.
Wherever they allow full capacity, that's where they're live.
I think this is going to be in Arizona.
Yeah.
Adesanya versus Vettori 2. Also on this bout, Davidson Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno 2.
Yeah, let me scroll down real
for
quick.
the flyweight championship.
And for all them Diaz bros.
Leon Edwards versus Nate Diaz in a welterweight bout. Woo, this is a big time for also Damian Maya.
And then just like put some
Muhammad and then Paul Craig versus Jamal Hill. But no disrespect to those two guys or those four fighters, but top three.
Woo-hoo.
The co-main event, and the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you want to start?
I don't know, bro. There's just so much it's so good. Let's just start with Brandon Moreno, please, so I can just get out of your system. First
fight of the year, 2020.
I lost my voice on the first fight. I plan to lose my voice on before we even get to the main event on this one. Dude, I am so excited. And it sucks because like I remember feeling this hype up for other matches and then ending like that.
Yeah. I was gonna say
yeah, so I'm hoping there isn't a quick finish. I hope it's a drag out war like last time. But at the same time, there's a lot of different variables this time. The champion is coming in fresh. Last time he tried to do some GOAT stuff and
fought relatively quickly.
And fought relatively quick within like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it was. That's what GOATs do. So I don't blame him for giving it the go. But now he's coming in full camp.
But they both have a full camp. They both came in on short notice.
Yeah, and then Brandon Moreno came in. I was going to say, but so we have new variables in this situation.
They know each other now.
So the fight is just that much more exciting. I'm just pumped to see it. Of course I'm going for my boy Brandon Moreno, but on top of that, I just hope it's a good fight.
It's almost like you wonder, like in a rematch like this where there was no real outcome in the first fight, like who has a better training camp and game plan coaches, and then two, which fighter is gonna either follow that or I have a feeling
throw out the window and we go back to.
I have a feeling that both of them probably have really great camps and they probably have a game plan going in, but I have a feeling that they're gonna, like I said, throw it out the window and just start scrapping, and whoever may the best fighter come out that night, and then I think that honestly, if this fight is anywhere as half as good as the first one, you book it again, bro.
Yeah,
you finish the trilogy right away.
Yeah, and then real quick, just to give some of the kids something to talk about, Figueroa's drip game is on point.
Yeah,
and I think we're gonna see a drip off between Izzy and Figueroa because these two guys bring it when it comes to it, bro.
Yeah, I think the UFC did a pretty good job in highlighting him last year on their social media about him being a hairdresser
and
style.
But he was looking. Dude, when he was coming, I was like, dude, bro, I'm digging your style, like bro. It's good.
That Adam Sandler movie, Don't Mess with Zohan.
Yeah,
that's him. He's a hairdresser, a hairstylist who could kick your ass.
I dig it, bro.
A main event, or you want to?
No. Let's go before we get there. Let's go back down to the Nate Diaz, Leon Edwards. A matchup I want to say that's been there for the longest.
Yeah.
Leon Edwards doesn't get the shine I think he deserves.
People just find him. People don't. Yeah. He's ranked 3, but people just either forget about him or don't like him or what.
It's crazy. I don't think he's gotten matchups to get him to that point. So I don't want to blame Leon Edwards for not having that high of a stock. I think he has been put in the position to get that high stock value.
Yeah.
Darren Till was supposed to get in here at one point with Leon Edwards, and we also had who's the one that dropped out of this fight that made it into Nate? It was supposed to be for the contender.
It wasn't Darren Till?
Was it Darren Till?
I don't remember. Darren Till was supposed to fight a bunch of people.
Yeah, the point is, Leon Edwards was supposed to get in the mix a long time ago in the welterweight division. I thought he was going to face Usman sooner rather than later. But to tell you the honest truth, I think this is a eliminator match. I think if Leon Edwards wins, he puts himself in perfect position for the title. I think if Nate Diaz wins, he's one win away from facing the champion.
No, I don't think so. I think if Leon Edwards wins, that's a worst case scenario for the UFC because
really,
Usman's already proven that he wants to make more money than fight the top contenders, hence Jorge Masvidal. I think if Nate Diaz wins, automatic title shot. Because Usman wants to get paid.
Automatic?
Usman wants to get paid, bro.
I mean, it is hard. It's hard not
if Usman agreed to fight Masvidal, who we all clearly saw wasn't a number one contender, he's going to fight Nate Diaz, bro, because Usman's a smart businessman. He wants to get paid.
But, okay, if Leon Edwards finishes Nate Diaz, which is a rare thing to do, a rare thing to do. If he finishes him, you don't think his stock goes up there?
No, not Leon Edwards. Bro. I'm sorry, bro. There's some dudes like the UFC doesn't want to get behind it. That's what Leon Edwards is one of them. If Nate Diaz even wins by decision,
he gets it.
He gets it, bro.
Split decision.
And if Diaz, knowing him, he's gonna call out McGregor for some reason. But dude, like you'll have a big payday against Usman. You'll probably get murdered, but it'll be a big payday.
Usman didn't take everything from him. Conor did, bro.
And then the main event, Izzy, Vettori. I think it's one weird where Vettori lost this, but he worked his way back around to
and it was a split decision loss, so it does have some.
If I heard right, this is actually happened in the same arena that they originally fought from.
Really?
Yeah, so the same city, everything. So
that's awesome.
Things have changed. Izzy
has changed.
Izzy is now the champion. Izzy has lost one time. So yeah, I don't know. Vettori says he has the game plan to do it or the idea to do it.
So the big myth with Izzy is he's a stand-up fighter. You take him to the ground, you'll beat him. That's the big myth around. In all reality, good luck. Mm-hmm. Good luck trying to take down Izzy. I honestly think Izzy is going to come with a little bit more fire this time. Not just because he didn't finish him the first time. I think he wants to show everybody what happened in the light heavyweight division was him not firing in all cylinders.
Yeah. And
so I think he knows he needs another spectacular win here, not just to establish himself in this weight class, but to put himself in position again to be a multi-champion. And in order to do that, you got to have a spectacular finish. So I think he comes out with a little bit more fire. I think Vettori has that stigmata of that the only reason he did go was because he wrestled, that he's going to want to stand up, I think, with him, and he's going to be proven wrong. But either way, don't count Vettori off. He does have a strong ground game, and if there's anyone in this division that can put Izzy on his back, it is Vettori.
I know when he, I think it was Kevin Gastelum, right? They trained together, and when he told him, okay, well, I'm going to do something different than Kevin Gastelum did. All right, I have the game plan. I think the pressure him, like you said, and Izzy. But man, I don't know. I like Izzy in this fight. But look at the frames, dude. Like doesn't Vettori look jacked compared to Izzy? But like Izzy's 6'4", has an 80-inch reach and a 44.5 leg reach. Whew. To Vettori, who's a 74-inch reach and a 41-inch reach for legs. But dude, it's just kind of the body frames, man. Like kind of crazy how like you think he looks. Izzy always looks small, but this dude is big.
Yeah,
dude,
he's a big dude.
But man, body frames are everything, man. So yeah, this is a good card.
Yeah, of course the guy is he retaining.
Is this a $70 card for you?
No, this is for sure a $70 card. See, when you want to charge me $70, you have to give me something like this, bro.
So,
all right,
UFC 263 this Saturday, June 12th, ESPN Plus. Or if you're fortunate enough to be living out abroad, it's for free.
Yeah.
I want to thank you all for tuning in this week. Make sure to keep up to date with us on social media. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We are on Twitter. All three handles are at 5Round MMA. It's FIVE Round MMA. A big thank you to Foxhound Fuel and Wildbar for sponsoring this show. We've got some interviews lined up with some of their sponsored athletes in the upcoming weeks. We're very excited about that. So keep an ear and eye out for that. Make sure to visit 5roundmma.com and also visit our YouTube channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications when we do drop new videos. We won't spam you too much with that stuff, so just keep an eye out on that.
We're pretty good at that.
Yeah. So until then, Albert, what do you got?
Jess, if you do listen to our iTunes, go ahead and give us a 5-star review. Come on, bro. Hook a brother up. And thank you for listening.
See you guys next week.
Thanks for tuning in.